Oh, I got truth.
And we are going live in 3, 2, 1. What happened?
The best to you from
Fuzz Talk
Radio. KMRT.
FuzzJockRadio.
Ooh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. We are back, everybody, with FuzzJock Radio, episode 12, the final episode of season 2. We have our hosts, Fuzzy.
What happened? Jameis.
And
It's me, C-Dubs.
and C-Dubs. Guys, we made it.
It's the ultimate episode.
The ultimate episode. We had the penultimate last
Penultimate.
week, and now we're at the ultimate episode, which means that
Here we are.
Here we are. I never thought that we would be able to do it. No. I knew.
I knew it.
I knew. I have confidence in you guys.
Jameis
told
wrote
you,
it down.
I told you
He
we were going
nailed
to do it.
me.
You did
I
tell
told
me.
you.
You did tell me, and I believed you. Don't think of anything else that I've said opposite of that. But yeah, we are here. The last episode of season 2. It took 12 episodes to get here, and yeah, this is gonna be a special one. Strap on your seatbelts and get ready for the ride of your life through sports of that's not going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, hang out with us for a bit.
Hang out for us. Hang out.
Take
for,
a seat.
Hang out for
Take a
us.
seat.
For us. With us.
Come to FuzzJock Radio Summer Camp.
Yeah, just
Was
hang
that
out
what
with
this
us
is?
online right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here.
Just to start it off, just to remind everybody, if you're just tuning in for the first time, this is a sports extravaganza, premier listeners and watchers of sports games. That is our slogan. Type of show. We talk about sports. We talk about life. We talk about how Jameis doesn't know anything about sports. We kind of make fun of Jameis a bit through these episodes because he just kind of ended up being the butt of all of our jokes. And yeah, so yeah, that's what we're about. Just a bunch of things and stuff. And we start the episodes by talking about what we did last week. What
happened?
Last episode. You really want me to get these sound effects going, don't you? I don't know how that happened.
No, I just catch
What
myself
happened?
saying. Yeah, I just like to say that now. That's like, I want that to be my new tagline. So like,
what
I'll be
happened?
at work. Yeah, I'll just be at work and like, putting things in cans, and they'll be like, "What happened?
Do you actually
What
do
happened?
that?
To the bathroom? What happened?"
Canon. It's just canon now
Oh, that's great. I love
in
it.
our lives.
It's canon while I'm canning,
Whoa, that's totally cool, dude.
bruh.
Jameis.
Think about it.
Jameis, I think I thought about it too much already.
Yeah, think about it.
Jameis, what did you do last week since the last episode?
Well, I did some working, played some video games, monitoring some clusters here in our lovely Blue Earth County, revolving around the service industry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's reaching out to, people we know, and like, kind of like, was at the point where
What happened?
like I know, yeah, I'm only like one person removed from knowing someone that's like tested positive, and it's just, it's something to monitor and yeah, and just try to ride it out, man. I'm trying to stay home as much as possible and wear a mask because, man, it's so easy.
It
Like,
is.
dude, if
It
you don't
really
know
is.
how to wear a mask or can't wear a mask, like, just ask for help. It's fine. Like,
If you-
it's not. It might be hard at first, but like,
You-
we'll get there,
you-
guys.
you
Like,
think-
just wear a mask.
You think that's what everybody's problem is that they just think it's too hard
It's,
to.
maybe it's hard for them.
They're
you know?
worried.
They can't
It's
ask.
fine.
They're worried to start.
And they feel
It's fine. It's
they're
fine.
too proud to ask.
I don't want to
for
shame them.
help.
I don't want to shame them. I want them to just ask for help.
Hmm
Yeah.
They should ask for help.
The audience likes that. The audience definitely likes that. C-Dubs,
they really like
how
that.
was your week since the last episode?
It was good. Worked a little bit. Been monitoring also the giant clusters in my area in
Okay.
Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Seems
to
but
be a
they're
theme
pretty
here.
good about. Huh?
Seems to be a little bit of a theme here.
Yeah. I wonder where that theme came from.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've just been working a few days a week, nothing major, just like 2 days, and then they tell us to stay home and be safe the rest of the time. So I have been, and so I haven't really done anything else
Nice.
good.
other than prepare for this show.
Yeah.
What?
Had a lot of time.
How about you, Fuzzy?
Well, I just was informed that I should monitor the clusters around my area as well, because I am now one person removed from a positive case. But this last week I did some interviews. Did an interview with the Free Press, the local paper in town, about a venue that closed down this past couple months or so. They didn't close because of the COVID, but they just weren't doing the best, so they decided to close. And did an interview about that. And what else? Did an interview with this local media group called Triple Falls Productions about Fuzz.
Oh, they're awesome.
They are really good. I like them.
They're very great. They're good people, and they've been reporting on a lot of different things that are going on in town, and then doing interviews with different artists and musicians around town. Triple Falls, shout out. And did an interview with
Word.
them about FuzzJockRadio. Talked about what we're all about. Did some shout outs about FuzzJockRadio, so hopefully we get a couple more listeners through that. And that's going to be released tomorrow, I believe, on their site. So definitely keep an eye out for that. And yeah,
Alright.
just work. Other than that, working a lot and wearing a mask everywhere I go.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It is.
It's pretty easy, actually.
Luckily I wasn't one of those people that had to ask how they work and how to put one on. So I just did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't that scary, but I totally understand. I get it. Like it might be a little scary putting them on, and it might be a little tricky to get them onto your face. But
The whole thing around your
if you're
ears,
scared,
I know there's steps involved.
don't
so.
worry. Yeah, if you're scared or confused, there's
That's
somebody.
the loved one.
There's somebody close to you that probably knows how to use one, and ask them. Make sure to stay 6 feet away. It would be probably better if you did maybe a video chat. It's kind of like
Dude.
It's kind of like when you were growing up and you didn't know how to wear a tie, tie a tie. And so you had your father or a father figure or your mother or just an adult would come to you and be like, "Oh, you don't know how to tie a tie." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm a little embarrassed. By this time in my life I should know." Don't worry. I'll tie it and show you how it works. That's just the same thing,
Yeah.
I get it. I was a little
The
worried.
video works too for this. You could definitely help someone in video chat how to do it, because
Yeah,
I
for
believe someone helped me tie my tie on my wedding day via video chat.
Oh yeah, that was me. That was me.
Dude, that wasn't that long ago, dude. You should have known
No.
by then.
No, I still don't know how to tie a tie.
But you had that
It
fear
works though. You can
to
learn
ask. Yeah, you can learn. You can always learn.
through video.
If you don't have somebody like me to, I will take the time to a video chat with you to show you how you can put a mask on if you need me. Otherwise, I'm sure that there's YouTube videos out there. loved ones, what have you. Just put that.
Kim Kardashian's TikTok probably has a video on it.
Yeah, maybe we
I don't
should,
understand any of those words.
maybe we should put out a FuzzJockRadio video on how to put on a mask and not to worry, not to be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's.
I love it. This is some good talk.
Yeah,
This is important. We need people to hear this. Wear a mask.
I think wearing a mask is probably a good thing to do during these times
Yes.
of a pandemic.
Fucking love masks.
But people are scared, and it's understandable. It's scary times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing that I can think of the reason why people don't want to wear masks. That makes sense. They're scared and they're embarrassed that they don't know how to put one on. So
That's fine.
there's resources out there. I
Yeah.
just ask. Just don't feel embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that I know wears a mask, and I just want to throw out a shout out to is Matt Hayes. He's the number one American in America. The number one American in America. Matt Hayes.
Fact.
That's a fact. He is a wonderful human being. If you see him riding by on his bicycle, make sure to give him a nice wave and a hello. Matt Hayes. If I had a song to play, I would say this one's for you. But this isn't a music thing.
I will verify that I was on a grocery shopping trip recently, and I did see, in fact, Matt Hayes in a mask.
Wearing a mask.
Eyewitness. I am.
Very good.
Good
Is
job.
me. And him wearing masks.
So I think we probably should get to it, guys. There is
Dude, sports.
a lot of time, a lot of sports, and a lot of stuff going on. I just want to say, anybody I talk to about FuzzJockRadio, they're always like, "Well, I bet you don't have anything to talk about right now," and it's like, no.
Best
There's
episodes we've ever had.
tons of stuff going on in the sports world. Like in Major League Baseball, they're getting ready to start things up in July. Perfect.
It's happening.
It's happening. They
No.
made an agreement in between episodes here, and they are coming out July 23rd to the 24th. Players will report by July 1st for training. And of course, precautions will be taken to protect all the players and personnel from COVID-19. They figured it out. So when as we all know, this is the ultimate episode. This is the last episode at season 2. It's nice to know that baseball's coming back when we go on hiatus.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Just how we planned it.
I don't know, man. I think one thing that does not bode well in this announcement is just the July 23rd or 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
They don't know what day.
there's still some uncertainty there, and I don't know.
There are some people here that are pretty definitely uncertain to even go. On Monday, the veteran starting pitcher from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Mike Leakey, and then the Washington Nationals first baseman Ryan Zimmerman and pitcher Joe Ross are all opting out of the 2020 season due to for the personal health and safety of themselves and their loved ones. So there's players that are definitely not wanting to play. It's only the 3 of them out of all the players, but still.
Yeah.
And then the Twins are making sure that their elder coaches aren't going. Bob McClure and Bill Evers aren't going along with the Twins for this.
And that was a team decision
No, it was a team decision.
to protect them.
Which is good. At least they're looking out for the older members of their squad.
They're thinking about it a little bit at least, you know. That's encouraging, I guess. We may all be against the idea of them doing this. At least there's a little encouragement that they're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they, from what I'm understanding, they have to set up a 60-man roster for the team. So 60 players are going to the hub city, or where are they going?
Yes.
Like, what's going on here?
What's happening? I mean, what's happening?
What happened?
I don't know where they're going. I think they're playing at home, right? Aren't they? They're playing at their home stadiums unless they can't.
Is that what's
I
going
think that's
on?
the deal. I think they're playing at their home stadiums unless their states won't allow them to. And most states have made a deal to allow them to play. Like LA is going to play at, I think, Dodger Stadium, even though they're trying to shut everything back down. But yeah, they've been making the 60-man rosters, and we've got a pretty good list of our guys, and they've also got a taxi squad thing, so they still get to have minor league guys on the team without actually having them per se in the clubhouse on a game day. So they would be like the practice squad essentially.
So that because I thought that the Major League Baseball recently cut ties with minor league so they could start their season quicker, and the Minor League Baseball's Board of Trustees are scheduled to meet tomorrow on Tuesday, and they're going to make it an official announcement on whether their season, the minor league's season's going to take place.
Right. So this would mean that these people are elevated from that and aren't involved in that anymore.
Okay.
Even though they normally would be. So like people like Royce Lewis and Alex Kirilloff would normally be in the minor leagues, but we're pulling them up because we want to use them in a case of an emergency situation, because they can.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Dude, I bet that a lot of, we'd mentioned earlier, there's only 3 players of everyone that opted out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
So
I'm
far.
wondering, so far, but with this expanded roster, that gives a lot of options and opportunities to guys that would be in AAA, AA.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe people that might want to opt out would be like, man, there's plenty of excited minor leaguers that will take my spot. So there's probably certainly some pressure there to not opt out. Maybe
not to opt out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what
And then
happens.
because of it, Tim Tebow might make his team.
Yeah, that's right. Tim Tebow's back in the news. He's a big candidate to make the New York Mets player pool.
he did it.
So he might actually make it
Which
He
is
did
by
it.
accident.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
He can thank Corona for that.
Should we call him Tim Tebow? Should that be his name?
Yeah, Tim Tebow.
Because he plays
Tim
a couple.
Tebow?
What? Why?
Yeah,
I'm
it is
confused.
Tebow.
T-ball? Because he's T-ball?
Yeah. Think about it.
So with the opening of the season in July 23rd or 24th, a bunch of rule changes have been put into place as well. Big one is spitting is prohibited, including but not limited to saliva, sunflower seeds, or peanut shells or tobacco. Well, they weren't able to chew tobacco in the first place, right? They banned tobacco off the fields for a while, right?
I think you secretly can do it. I don't think they
Well, this
are
is
forward about it.
This is baseball we're talking about, and there's a lot of cheating.
Think about how many guys you see spitting dark stuff into a
I
soda
know.
bottle or a Gatorade bottle. That's not all sunflower seeds. So
and this is baseball that we're talking about. There's a lot of cheating going on anyway.
yeah. Oh God, the cheating.
But at all times in the club facilities, including on the field, chewing gum is permitted.
Okay.
Pitchers may carry a small wet rag in their back pocket to be used for moisture in lieu of licking their fingers.
Mhm.
It's gonna be so weird. They
Yeah.
naturally just do that.
Yeah, it's going to be
Just
really
do
hard to
it.
stop some of that because it's just.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it, and it's gonna be getting them to not do it, like to stop. 'Cause
What are they gonna do when they lick their fingers? Like, just say, like, no, don't do that,
I
and
don't
shake
know.
the finger.
I don't know.
And be the pitcher will be like, oh, sorry. Sorry. I mean, is it gonna be like an enforceable thing? Are there consequences?
Oh, this is interesting. So clubs must provide expanded dugout and bullpen space in their ballparks. Players, umpires, and other on-field personnel should practice physical distancing to the extent possible within the limitations of competition and the fundamentals of baseball. Examples of ways in which physical distancing can be incorporated without disrupting the basics of the game include: when the ball is out of play, players are encouraged to retreat several steps away from the base runner. If the batter is in the batter's box and the catcher needs to stand to relay signs to the infielders, the catcher can step onto the grass towards the mound to give the signs before assuming his position behind home plate. First and third base coaches should remain in or behind the coach's box and shall not approach a base runner, fielder, or umpire on field. Players on opposite teams should not socialize, fraternize, or come within 6 feet of each other before the game, during warm-ups, in between innings, or after the game. And there will be no pregame exchange of lineup cards. Instead, the club will input their lineup card into a mobile application provided by the MLB.
Hey, nice. Apps.
Yeah, I mean, why not use
using them
technology,
apps.
right? So, National League games will include the use of the designated hitter for the first time in history.
See, I was just reading about this, and I feel like we had brought this up as well as this extra inning rule
we have
listed
it
here.
before.
Because those were rules that were already being discussed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just make the designated hitter universal throughout the league, and like the extra inning rule. Every extra inning, the team will start with a runner on second.
Mm-hmm.
So
really? Neat.
And now they've put standards to how it would work too. So like because think about, okay, who do you put at second?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Put the guy who's up next, the guy who was up last, and so they
does the team
decided
get to
what is
pick?
it? It's the guy who precedes the half innings leadoff hitter. So it's to be the second guy who batted at the beginning of the previous half inning for the team.
Okay, the batter who leads off an inning shall continue to be the batter who would lead off the inning in the absence of this extra inning rule. The runner placed on second base at the start of each half inning shall be the player in the batting order immediately preceding the half inning's leadoff hitter. By way of example, if the number 5 hitter in the batting order is due to lead off the 10th inning, the number 4 player in the batting order shall begin the inning on second base. However, if the player in the batting order immediately preceding the half inning's leadoff hitter is the pitcher, the runner placed on second base at the start of that half inning may be the player preceding the pitcher in the batting order. Any runner or batter removed from the game or a substitute shall be ineligible to return to the game, as is the case in all circumstances under the OBR. Oh, Jesus. So this is...
Why do they even need to add...
Actually. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, why do they even need to add the indications about the pitcher if the pitcher's in the batting order when they've already said they're going to use the designated hitter?
Maybe you can still use your pitcher as a because you can substitute, so you could still put your pitcher in if you wanted to. You wouldn't, but you could.
Okay.
That's a fair point. Or maybe it's an old rule written before the designated hitter thing, and they just didn't change the verbiage or the
Yeah,
number.
I mean,
yeah,
that's what we
probably
said
what it
is that
Yeah.
yeah. Rule.
And then for scheduling, clubs may schedule up to 3 exhibition games before the end of summer camp. Clubs may consider scheduling games against their opening opponent in the days leading up to the opening day. There's no limit on the number of inter-squad games permitted. And then a regionally based schedule will feature each club playing 40 divisional games and 20 interleague games against the corresponding geographical division. And did they release that schedule yet?
I don't think so.
I haven't
think they're
seen
still
it.
calculating it.
As of today, I haven't seen it.
No.
But they did release the 60-man roster, and the Twins have sent out theirs, and it's pretty much the
Great names in there.
Nelson
I love
Cruz
these
is the
names.
designated hitter. Luis Arise, Trevor May, Lewis Thorpe, Rich Hill,
What happened?
Byron Buxton, Alex Kirkhoff. Yeah, so it's going to be a good schedule for the Twins, or a good team for the Twins.
This is a team that's going to win the world. If they actually get this league going, this is the team that's winning the World Series. It is.
It is.
There's no better collection of baseball players than these 60 people. There's no better collection of 60 people to play
Closest
baseball.
will be the Dodgers, so they'll face each other.
Yep.
And it sounds like they're taking all the precautions. So when we leave for our off season, we'll be enjoying a bunch of baseball
Oh yeah.
on the TVs. On the TV.
Oh yeah.
And we'll get back to you and let you know how that went.
It's gonna be great.
I hope everything's
Season
going to be
3.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Another league that is looking into reopening, and they did put out their schedule, is the NBA.
They did put out a schedule.
We're going to go through that whole schedule.
Yeah, we'll go through the whole
This is every
schedule.
game of the schedule.
Yep. We're going to break it down, play by play.
Starting July 30th, Utah versus New Orleans, and LAC versus
Oh my gosh, the
Clippers
Clippers
versus
versus the Lakers
first
is
game.
the first night?
yeah, on TNT at 9
Yeah, wow.
p.m.
Whoa.
And then on the 31st, there's like 6 games. And then August 1st, like about 5 or 6 games. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. And they should be done.
They're just gonna play games every day.
Every day.
Here they go.
Every day.
Like
Every day basketball.
5
Every day
games.
basketball.
5 games a day. The first one starts at 2:30 p.m. right around 1 and 2:30 p.m. and the last game ends at 9.
These are all gonna be. Oh wait, no, these won't all be like in Florida, or will they?
Yeah,
No,
this is
they will.
all at the at Disney World.
Okay. All right.
Now, we have a list in our notes. Are these people going to be there? Like,
What?
would you think they would allow them to? I guess if they have the antibodies, they could.
Well, we got a list that's is titled NBA players positive for coronavirus.
There's at least a dozen there.
Well, some of
Doesn't
them
name.
don't even say a name. It says like 2 players, 3 players, 4 players. So there's 16 of 302 tested positive outside of the number we see.
Most recent were June 23rd through June 29th. People have been tested positive. And I bet there's 4 Nets players, 2 Lakers players, 3 76ers.
So
Michael
do
Malone,
these-
the postman.
16
do they
of,
get to
16 of
come
302. I don't know. Do they? Are you asking me?
I'm
Fuzz,
I'm wondering. I'm
will
surmising. Like, or
you
I don't
let
know.
them play
You're the one
Fuzzy?
that's
Will you?
asking the question. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let them.
Would-
I don't want to let them.
No, because also think then you're also what if they can get it again and then it's worse the second time because you're already weak from the first time.
Yeah, they got quarantined for like 2 weeks, and then the schedule's over by then.
Yeah.
Man, don't take a long nap or you're gonna miss this basketball season.
There's a list of NBA players that are actually opting out. Why don't you look at the list and see if they coincide at all? Davis Bertans, Trevor Arzera, Avery Bradley, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Willison Chandler. Any of those guys?
No.
Nope. No, none of them cross over.
Well, those guys are sitting out, and I think that's a really good idea. I'm really happy our Timberwolves aren't part of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Save them.
I hope that nobody gets it, but it just seems like it's like they have a lot of that's a lot of players on, a bunch of different teams. What is that? Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that have got it. Are any
That's
of these
crazy.
are any of these teams part of it?
Yes.
Oh, I suppose the Nets. No, the Lakers definitely are.
76ers,
76ers.
Lakers, Nets. They all are.
Yeah, everybody. We're all a part of this. It's all over the world.
Yeah, even the Suns are.
Yeah,
They're all in
and
it.
Even the sun is up in the sky. Like it's all everything's a part of it.
You know what didn't help any of this is that the anti-vaxxer tennis star Novak Djokovic tested positive coronavirus after he and a bunch of players ignored social distancing by partying and playing football and basketball on his tour. And there was some basketball players that were hanging out with him, and
So this anti-vaxxer basically was like, let's party, and got all these sports stars to get the coronavirus because he's like, we don't believe in vaccines.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
That's exactly what happened.
yeah,
What a dude.
What happened?
yeah.
That's exactly what happened.
What happened is Novak guy
What happened?
is
Yeah.
Novak, no good.
No vaccine.
Yeah, and that's part of the problem with this whole thing, are the people that are not taking this serious, or thinking that it's not real and not wearing masks. And I'm sorry that we're getting back to that point, but you got to keep on saying it. You got to wear your mask and social distance and treat this right, because I mean, I know you want your sports back, but you're not going to have sports back if everybody gets sick and dies.
Yeah, if they hang out with anti-vaxxers, it's no good.
And if you're not wearing masks and taking care, you're not. It's not just about taking care of yourself. It's about taking care of other people too. That's the main part. You take care of yourself, but also it protects other people.
Now the main part is that it looks cool.
And it looks super cool. That is my favorite part. I look really good in my mask. I really do.
Cool.
Yeah, somebody
That's
said
great.
that I look like a ninja the
So
other day.
cool.
Yeah, ninjas are cool.
You're
Yeah,
very
ninjas.
cool, Ninja Fuzz.
I'm gonna play a little clip here of somebody else that's really cool.
Okay.
With the 5th pick in the 1998 NBA draft, the Golden State Warriors select Vince Carter. Here is Vince Carter with his first shot.
Vince Carter, after 22 years, he stated on his podcast, Winging It, that I'm officially finished playing basketball. I'm officially done playing basketball professionally. So he retired after 22 years. He is the last 90s draft. Was drafted in 98 at 43.
Wow.
Yeah.
He was drafted when he was 43?
No.
Dude,
no.
that means he's like
No.
65?
No.
Oh, no.
No. He's 43 now, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, he played in the NBA for 22 years and was 43 when he retired this on Sunday. I think it was.
Wow.
So
What a,
so there literally is not a single other professional NBA player currently in the NBA drafted before 2000.
That's correct.
Whoa. End of an era.
End of an era.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
End of an era.
The 90s era of basketball was something different. It was definitely different than the era of basketball that we're in now.
Yep.
It's both pretty cool though. I mean,
Very, very much so. And it's
cool stuff everywhere.
it's really neat to see how NBA over time has transitioned in their look and appearance and the style of play, which you don't see a whole lot of change in a lot of different in other sports. Like a lot of other sports, when you look through the time periods, other than like rule changes and making players play differently. Most sports pretty much step in line with what they've been in the history. You can watch a game of football and 20 years ago, and it's basically the same thing that is now.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, on their own, on their own, the players have changed styles of playing basketball.
yeah, they developed different skill sets.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's really neat. It's a really neat thing. And
Well,
go ahead.
yeah, they're just constantly finding new stylish or tricky ways to pass the ball, to dribble the ball, to just have very technical control on their ball handling. And
Shooting at threes like they do with such accuracy.
yeah, so it very much, if you watch a basketball game
All of a sudden, Shaq
from this
comes.
last year compared to 2 decades ago,
Yeah.
very much the style is very noticeable.
All of a sudden, a person like Shaq comes and just changes the style of how they have to defend players, and which opens up the big bang game, and it's really neat.
And now with Steph Curry, now it's about smaller players, packaging them correctly. It's not having as big of big guys in the middle and all that.
Yep, and
different.
which is
Yeah, it's great.
making it so the bigger players are now shooting threes as well,
That too,
which
like
is
Cat.
really neat. Like Cat and
That's cool.
what's his name? That new guy that's come out.
Fred,
Um,
Donovan.
where is that schedule again? He's on the New Orleans, I think.
Oh, Zion Williams.
Zion Williams, yeah. He's a player. He's just huge guy. But has a lot of finesse to his game, and it'll be interesting to see if he's going to be one of the new players to start developing a new style of game during the COVID era.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Zion Williamson.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Zion. And it's really neat. And another really neat thing I just want to make a tip to basketball is that the old commissioner and the current commissioner that came up with that was brought up by the old commissioner, they've always allowed the players to do what they want. The style, the dress that they want to wear on the sidelines, or like what type of, if they want to have baggy shorts or whatever, whatever. If they want to have colorful shoes, they let them do it. It's they allow the players to have a lot of control over the league itself, and
Player driven.
that's awesome.
Yeah. And they do, like, they're going to be showing that a little bit too with all the player supports for Black Lives Matter. They're going to paint on the sidelines at the stadiums in the Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah. Did you hear that, James? The NBA is going to paint Black Lives Matter on the sidelines of all 3 courts. It will use to restart the season at Walt Disney World next month. And another thing that they were talking about too is allowing. I'm not sure if this has gone through or not, but like I heard that they are talking about instead of having their names on the back of their jerseys, having something to do with whatever cause that they want. You know, like they could say Black Lives Matter and then it says their number underneath it, or it could say some type of cause instead of it being their name. And it sounds like Nike, the people that make their jerseys, are actually really behind it. And,
Okay.
which would be neat. And the people that I was listening to about that possibility is that at the same time for Nike, that's an awesome merchandising thing, and there's a lot of money that Nike can donate for purchases of that unique COVID era attire. So
I don't trust Nike still, though. I mean, they're doing some things that are great. I'm always skeptical of that being theatrics and to promote the image.
I know, and that's the thing. It's they need to take their get away from the sweatshops and start doing better fabrication, and better employee, whatever, like human rights and worker rights activism. If they need to put their money where their mouth is when they're doing stuff like this. But still,
and this is a good start.
It is a good start. And another company that's kind of like in that realm of things is Converse. They just recently announced that they signed its first women's basketball player, Natasha Cloud, to a shoe deal. Cool. The company praised during the shoe deal. They praised her social justice activism because she's been out there with Black Lives Matter and really being active. And Converse is standing behind behind that statement, saying that they're praising her. 3 weeks later with a payday. They offered to cover 100% of Cloud's 2020 salary after she opted out of the 2020 WNBA season, which is set to start in Florida next month.
And they have 9 players who've opted out, and she's one of them.
Yep, because she said she wants to remain on the front lines to focus on social reform, and the company that the Converse, they're paying.
Said,
they're
hell
like,
yeah,
go ahead, go do that. We'll still pay you for your endorsements.
Nice.
And like C-Dub said, there are a bunch of WNBA players opting out of the 2020 season. Rebecca Allen, Natasha Cloud, Tiffany Hayes, Jonquel Jones, Renee Montgomery, Chinese. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her last name. Latoya Sanders, Christy Tolliver, and Cecilia of the Lynx. So they're deciding to step out. They haven't announced a schedule quite yet for the 2020 season of the WNBA, but it's supposed to start in July as well.
In Disney World.
Yeah, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What was theirs?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
What happened?
Theirs is also through Disney, isn't it?
I
Through
think
the ESPN Center, I think.
the ESPN Center, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, which is owned by Disney because ABC owns. Yeah, ABC owns Disney, Disney owns ABC and owns ESPN, so it's still the same.
And 80% of the world.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
Don't worry, we can all buy stock in it and we can benefit from it too, right?
Yeah,
That's how it works, right? Right?
I think so. I think so. That's fair.
Right?
But you know what, man? With the shoe deal for Natasha Cloud, heck yeah, dude, it's about time.
Yeah, it's really cool. It goes again with what we were saying before. It's hard to trust, shoe companies in general, especially when they have such hard or bad business practices. But like, it is good that when they use their money, they at least do decent things sometimes with it, as opposed to just never doing anything right. They could just keep it all and just give bad sponsorships to people and not be part of any social, movements.
Well, sure.
And also,
I think of like when these players sign these deals, they kind of become like a spokesperson, right?
Yeah.
And regardless of the brand that they're being a spokesperson for, that's a chance for them to kind of become an icon outside of their regular medium, outside of their regular wheelhouse of the sport. And so that's what's kind of put in more people's faces, getting more exposure. And I'm so used to just like you think of, iconic sports stars, and the ones that get all the exposure are the males, and this is awesome. We'll get to see more exposure for iconic WNBA players, and I want to see that.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
I like that.
Because it's already unfortunate. Like, I've looked into getting Lynx jerseys before, and they don't necessarily have a lot of good merchandise for WNBA. So it's nice to see that they're branching out. Because seriously, they'll give you like 2 options. That's it. You can pick from 2 people. Well, then that means no one else on the team gets any sponsorship deals from selling their jersey names.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get the customs, but they don't just make them like they do any other sport. I don't know. It's good to see that I can now go out and get a pair of shoes from a WNBA player.
And I'm just been informed that
just,
Nike owns Converse. So here we go.
There we go. Yep. See. But Nike also they hired Kaepernick. They've done some right things.
That is true.
While they're also a horrible company, they've done some nice things. It still makes the point what we were saying, true.
They shout out to FuzzJocker and my friend Jordan for providing that fact on Nike and Converse.
They have definitely been on the
that's right.
Right side.
I just remembered they bought it in like the early 2000s. That's right. Because Converse used to not be made in Indonesia. When Nike bought it, that's when they started that. Okay, anyway, I just remembered that right now.
Here we are.
So we can move on to the next sport that's trying to make sure it can play.
Well, they're not.
The NFL.
They're not trying. I was just thinking.
Well, they're going to.
They're just going to. They haven't said any word about, like, we need to make sure we get this out there. The NFL has never said that they're going to slow down the opening of up their season or a. What? You're looking at me, goofy here.
Yeah, they did.
They ain't never said nothing about no stopping or slowing or nothing.
While they haven't said anything like that, they
ain't
did.
Never said nothing.
They did cancel the Hall of Fame game.
Oh, that is right. August 6th, they were supposed to have the Hall of Fame's enrichment ceremony on August 8th, and it's being postponed to the coronavirus. Yeah, that's right. It was the Steelers.
So they're kind of already admitting.
Nah, dude, they're going to take that coronavirus and they're just going to tackle it.
I mean,
they're
that's
August.
They're going to tackle it.
Tackle this thing like a kickoff return.
When does the football start? When does the NFL start anyway? Like the end of August?
End of August.
Yeah. This is August 8th, dude. Like there's a lot of time.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. You know what else is going to start around that time?
Huh.
FuzzJockRadio Season 3.
That is absolutely correct.
Yep.
We are taking a break right after this episode up until the beginning of the new football season, and we're not. That's something I was going to ask, guys. If they do delay the NFL start, do we still start when we said that we were going to start?
That's what the contract says. We can't break the contract.
True, we can't.
That's why we did this season when we did. The contract said we had to do it on these days.
Legally binding.
Yep.
So
That union.
do you guys remember what date that was? No.
We're going to start a week earlier than last year. We're going to start on week 1.
Week 1 of
So
August.
that would be week 1. No, week 1 of the season. So that would be September 8th or something.
Okay, so we're coming back like September 8th.
Or first week of September-ish.
It's like a Monday, probably.
September 7th is the first Monday of September.
Is it the first? If it's games, then that's the first one.
The second week of September, the first Monday of September.
Oh, then we would be the week before?
The August 31st?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, either way, stay tuned. we will discuss this off air and figure it out. But
I don't have the contract in front of me.
Just stay tuned.
No,
FuzzJockers.
team meeting right now, guys. Let's do this on air.
But we do like to be transparent, and have the FuzzJockers, play along with us. Which reminds me too. Okay, so before I keep jumping around here, I had a little bit of an energy drink. We will be back after this episode sometime in the future, and we will let you know when that sometime will be through our social medias like Twitter and Facebook. So stay tuned to our Facebooks and Twitters, and we will once we pull out the contract and double check to see what our signatures say.
It will be early September.
Like early September, end of August.
Yeah.
So
Or July 23rd or 24th. I don't know. But we're for sure coming back. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
So
That's February.
This kind of sounds like we're wrapping up the episode. We're
Fuzzy,
about an hour in.
No, I don't want to wrap up the episode.
No, I'm not. I just hit my head with the microphone, so no, we're not.
Yeah, but I don't. Guys,
we're not gonna wrap
it's
up
almost
the episode.
over. I don't want it to be over.
No,
let's not have it be over.
Guys, no, we're not. Don't worry. This is the last episode. We're going for another hour.
What?
Yeah, this is gonna be a 2-hour episode, guys. We have a lot to talk about. That's what I've been saying. Haven't you been listening to me?
We're
So
not
much
even halfway through our list. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Oh man.
Like I said, there's a lot of things going on. Also with that, FuzzJockers, thank you. Thank you for sticking with us. We love you so much. We know that you're sharing the episodes and when you're talking to your friends about listening to FuzzJockRadio. Because we know this because we do a horrible job at promoting the podcast and a horrible job at sharing links and a horrible job at talking about FuzzJockRadio. Even though all three of us right now are wearing FuzzJockRadio shirts, we don't wear them out and about a whole lot.
We sure advertise to each other though.
we advertise to each other. Yeah, that's exactly it. But outside of the three of us, we don't really do it that well. So that means that you FuzzJockers are towing the boat. You're pulling the rope right now, and it's fucking great. Because we have been no lie, no joke. We have been actually getting a lot of downloads that aren't just us listening to the episodes, because the program actually keeps track of unique listeners and unique downloads. So if I listen to it 5 times, it only counts me as 1. And honest to whatever you believe in,
he does listen to it 5 times every episode.
Yeah. It amazes me how many downloads that we have been getting with the bad job that we do with promoting our show. So
we know you're there. We see you.
We really, really appreciate you and keep up the bang up job. Thank you so much. Because we'd be still doing this if you didn't listen, but it's awesome to know that you are tuning in and enjoying what we're doing. So I'm starting to get emotional, guys.
Sports.
Because the end is near. The end is near.
Do you want something to make you feel like you're more normal, like something you're used to?
Something that makes
you
give me something
feel
some good news.
Well, don't know if it's good news, but it's familiar news.
What's that?
The Patriots have been fined for cheating again.
That's good news. The
That's good
cheating
news.
again
No
is not.
way.
They got
Common.
fined.
Remember this?
They got fined.
What?
That's awesome.
Yep.
They did something about it, unlike baseball not doing anything about the Astros.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, they asked for about the same amount of money, but still.
it's very
They're-
true.
yeah.
But they also didn't cheat as bad.
So tell me, what's going on?
So they had their television crew filming the field and the sidelines of the Cincinnati Bengals and the
Oh.
Cleveland Browns.
I remember that. I remember
On a
this
different
story.
game. Yeah, we talked about this way back when, but they actually were like, yeah, you did this. We clearly found that you did this, and so we're fining you $1 million, $1.1 million, and took away a draft pick as well.
Didn't
But
did the Patriots say that there was like a documentary crew and they were
Yes.
like, you're like,
Oh.
no, that's
Preparing
our
for,
documentary. Like we're having a
Never.
documentary.
Never trust someone that's filming a documentary. It's always code for something else.
Mhm.
It's always code.
I believe it.
I've heard that excuse used for like someone having an affair. They were going off to film a documentary.
What?
True to life. True to life. I've heard this
Wow,
in real life.
that's-
IRL.
That's something. That's
Never
a new
trust
one.
someone that's filming a documentary.
Nope.
They're never filming a documentary.
That's interesting.
So-
I'm thinking of that Tiger King show on Netflix, and like they tricked Joe into thinking that it was a documentary, and it wasn't. It was like it wasn't the same documentary as the documentary that he was thinking that it was going
He
to be.
thought,
and,
yeah.
Never trust a documentary, huh? Like, yeah.
No.
Sounds like yeah, okay, so yeah, that's
Good
awesome.
job.
$1.1 million and a third round pick in the 2021 draft, among punishments for their television crews filming of the sideline. And it's just
Yep.
fucking funny too, because it's like the Cincinnati Bengals and the Browns, like two of the worst teams that year.
Yeah, and their reason too is they were like, oh, we're doing one of those like prep up for the previous weeks of, oh, here was our competition, and it's like, yeah, you're doing that so you can watch it, not so your audience can watch it at home. Like you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
Because they took. Here's how they won the Super Bowl against the Rams, and again, this is the Rams' fault for putting the info out there, but they did one of those behind-the-scenes shows for their own TV station, Spectrum Sports, here in LA, and it was called Locker Room or something like that, and it shows you behind-the-scenes stuff. Anyway, they showed practices. It's like not whole ones, but pieces of practices, and you could hear the verbiage they used to say what the plays were.
Oh,
So
that's
the
funny.
Bill and his team, the Patriots, all watched that video, learned what they were saying, and figured out their code. So that's how their defense was so good against one of the most prolific offenses we've had in a long time, because they knew what the plays were.
Man,
That's why it was such a boring Super Bowl.
that makes so much more sense.
Yeah, because they knew what it was. They knew what every play was,
Takes
basically.
so much fun out of the game when people cheat.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean,
like I don't
it's,
know.
again, it's only kind of cheating, but it's still cheating.
It's still cheating. It's taking the enjoyment out of the aspect of the randomness of games. That's part of what sports is. What's fun about sports is that it's random. You know, it's two teams
a
that
missed
don't
tackle here.
you don't know that the team doesn't know what other play is going to be, so they're going to put up what like is going to takes footage, like they need to learn, and like, and hopefully that defense play that they put up is going to work against honestly who knows what play that the offense is going to put out there.
Yeah.
And
I understand scouting, and like you
Yeah, I
have
get
to
that.
scout and practice, but that's with the information that the league puts out there, what your team puts out there on the field. You're not supposed to know the intricacies of every practice and all that stuff.
No, you don't
like
put
you're not
spies
supposed to
in.
know the code.
You gotta study it to take the test.
yeah,
You don't want to do the studying, man.
I
You
don't know.
stump.
It just takes the enjoyment out of the game. It's unsportsmanlike, and it really pisses me off. I'm just pissed off.
Yeah,
right
knock it
now,
off, guys.
But
Just knock it off.
either way, that Bill Belichick is an evil genius.
He is.
Like it's
And he did it again.
It's amazing what he's able to come up with. Like they had Deflategate, and before that they had a couple controversies and a couple Spygate,
Doing the same thing.
and
What?
Yeah.
No way.
They went to the practices and were filming in the Jets stadium.
what's funny too is that they haven't he must be a powerful person in the NFL for them not to do anything against him.
It's not just him. It's the owner of the Patriots, Robert Kraft. Him and Jerry Jones are the two most prominent owners in the NFL. What they say goes. So you can't punish them.
Oh, that seems like
Man, they're repeat offenders.
that seems like a conflict of interest right there too.
Yeah. Well, that's the NFL.
They dumb.
Man, guys, with the cheating in baseball and the conflict of interest in the NFL and the rule changings, I just don't know if I really if I care about sports coming back. Yeah, before I digressed, what's going to be interesting is how the new MVP Cam Newton does with the Belichick playbook, because it sounds like Cam Newton is signed to a 1-year deal with a bunch of benefits to be the Patriots' possible quarterback now that Tom Brady has left.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is a really smart move. I mean, you got a big mobile quarterback instead of this big immobile quarterback. Cam's smart. He knows how to play football. I mean, he's a great guy to trust with it. I like Cam. I think he's a good player. So I think this is a great fit, which is scary because that means the Patriots are good again.
No shit. Because weren't we asking last week who was the Patriots backup?
Yeah,
Tom Brady?
it was, if not a few weeks ago. Yeah, we were talking about who was going to be their quarterback.
And we didn't know, and it's just like, okay, what's Belichick going to do here? Well, we got Cam Newton, so... And it sounded like Cam was shopping around, and it's a smart move on his part, too. Not a lot of teams were asking for him, and there aren't a lot of teams that are really looking for a quarterback. So he just, why not just go with the Patriots? They're a winning team.
Yep.
I guess I'll go with the Patriots.
So
That's what he said.
Now that Cam is on the Patriots and Brady's gone, do we hate Tampa Bay and like the Patriots, or do we still not like the Patriots because of Robert Kraft?
I still don't like the Patriots, but I still like Cam, and I
like
still
Cam.
don't like Tampa Bay, and I still don't like Tom Brady.
Yeah, take that.
Take that.
That'll show him.
On a different broadcast of a sports nature, they talked about
Sports Nature Show?
the sports nature show of they were talking about how Cam, he dresses up. Have you ever seen him, James? How he dresses up for interviews?
Mm-mm.
How he dresses?
He's the best.
He is
He's the
amazing.
best.
I'm gonna look up a picture right now.
Yeah,
you
look
should.
up a picture of him. Just look up Cam Newton. You'll see.
Newton.
His hats are the best.
But they were talking about how it's going to be such a fashion show with having Cam and then Bill Belichick with his awesome
hoodies.
pick of attire of just different colored hoodies.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that's funny.
Yeah, that was a good bit. I wish we would have thought of it.
I like that. They took our
did.
bit. We thought of it first.
So
Yeah, I sent them that joke.
do you think? Who do you think is going to do better in the with this season, Cam or Brady?
Cam.
I'd have to trust the coaching. Even though Bruce Arians is a good coach, I'd go with Bill still. Bill still.
Yeah, James, you
Bell
too.
still. Well, I just think a quarterback doesn't make a team.
You're absolutely right.
So Tom Brady with a new team doesn't mean like, oh, they're as good as Tom Brady.
I just thought of this too. I always use this as an example, and I never realized that they would actually end up being a great example for what I've been using it for. But so I've seen a lot of live football, and I tell people the most boring live quarterback I've ever seen is Tom Brady. He just stands there and he delivers the ball. He's always accurate, but it's just not exciting. But one of the most exciting quarterbacks I've ever seen is Cam Newton, because he's huge and he moves really fast and he can be really, really, really like accurate on the run, and it's just something you're not used to seeing so often. Aaron Rodgers is similar too, but not as mobile. But and I've always used those two as examples, and now
They've traded places.
they've traded places, so it's a perfect kind of thing. So we'll see if his immobile nature works on a different team.
Yeah, no, that's a good analogy there. I don't know if that's the right word. NFL, man. So yeah, they've been pretty quiet about their restarting of the season. It's just pretty assumed that they're just gonna start going. Have they announced anything about having fans in their
No
stadiums
fans.
Too? No fans, right away. Okay.
No fans. Nope. At least at this rate, they won't be.
Yeah.
They still have a plan if they can bring them back. They're working on a plan so if they can bring them back. But at this point, they're expecting no fans. But they're still thinking about it because they want every penny they can get.
Yeah.
But
any other NFL news that is worth noting that's happened?
I was
going
gonna say, Florida is where all this stuff is happening, and it's also where all these cases are happening, along with everywhere else. I mean, it's happening everywhere, but it's happening a lot in Florida. And the NFL actually told Tom Brady to stop holding his private workouts with his teammates, and he responded by sending a bunch of quotes like, "You shouldn't fear anything," or "We have nothing to fear but fear itself," and stuff like that, as a response to being told not to hold his practices.
So
dude, does Tom Brady scared of masks?
Yes, he is.
Does Tom Brady need a little help? He needs a little help.
I think so.
Someone show him how to get that mask on.
I think
maybe.
he's a little embarrassed that he doesn't know how to put it on.
He's embarrassed.
Somebody tell him. Don't be embarrassed. It happens.
He did rip his pants playing golf.
He did rip his pants playing golf.
He did.
Yeah.
I forgot. Thank you.
He's probably embarrassed that he doesn't know how to wear a mask.
Bring Nick Foles, maybe. Cheap shot.
He's gone crazy, huh?
Yeah, I mean
that's why he's moving. Why he's moving to Florida. He wants to be closer to. And I can't believe we actually said that motherfucker's name.
Here we go.
No, we're done.
Oops.
Well, we can edit that out in post-production.
Yeah, actually we can, and let's make sure to remind me to do that.
Yeah, we'll beep it. We'll censor it. But so we can wrap up the NFL, I think, now.
Good luck, NFL.
Crazy. Like I was thinking about earlier, just he belongs down in Florida, and
yes, he does.
Probably true.
Yep.
He's proving it now. So
another thing too, Disney is making bank.
Yeah.
Good on them. Good on them to pick up all these properties before Corona hit. Picking up ESPN, Fox, all these entities, over the last couple of years, and now look at where they are. They're the only place, and this is the reason why they're all going to Disney World or going to Disney places is because they bought everything.
Yeah, dude.
They own it all.
They own it all, and they're making their move.
They even own Star Wars.
They do own Star Wars, and who cares anymore? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't mean that. I'm just joking. Because I know that you can't say stuff like that. But you know what I mean? It's just crazy how they gotta be making bank from these leagues to host their stuff at all their places and provide
Well-
all these amenities, right?
Not only that, they also own. I was saying earlier, they own ESPN,
Mm-hmm.
and these games for the NBA are being aired not only but they're being aired on TNT and ESPN.
So they're
they're
just
getting
hosting the physical arenas and
Dude,
the places
double
to play.
jeopardy.
They are also airing the broadcasts.
the games. Yes.
And nobody else has the rights to do that.
No.
Doesn't
Well,
that sound...
only TNT does, and NBA. They're the only other two entities that can release the games.
Yeah, TNT is a different network, aren't they?
Yes, I believe so. They're Turner.
I mean, isn't there something
So
called
far.
monopolies, anti-monopoly trusts and stuff like that in America? Or like,
Nah,
Oh,
that's
that's cute.
an
yeah.
infringement of my freedom of speech to bring up monopolies.
oh yeah, okay, so
This is terror. That's suppression.
yeah,
Don't-
yeah.
You can't talk about that. You're oppressive on Disney's rights as a human corporation.
I don't know. I'm just kind of. I think I'm really starting to wrap my mind around what's actually fully happening with these acquisitions that Disney's done. And I mean, in a business sense, good on them. Like, look at them shine. They're able to provide all these places, and hopefully, they use these resources to help people. You know. I mean, it's Disney. That's what they do, right? They provide for families
should.
and fun, and
They could.
they could. Hopefully,
should.
all this money that they're gathering up from all these different places goes to good causes like Black Lives Matter and coronavirus survivors and testings.
We hope they keep matching those all-in donations for what the sports are all supposed to be, collectively gaining.
We probably make sure that they will. We got to talk positive here because it's
Yeah.
Disney and they will, and they probably own us without us even knowing. So we probably should keep on
It's
saying
true.
good things.
We love you, Disney.
We love you. Wink, wink.
This is why we were talking about stock options earlier.
Oh yeah. So with that, gonna mention that FuzzJockRadio is brought to you by
Not Disney.
not Disney, not Nike, not Gatorade or Bang Energy or which are Mountain Dew or anything that is owned all just by like all those companies I listed are probably all just owned by Disney anyway. But just wanted to say, yeah, we're not sponsored by anything, and I always want to keep it that way because I feel that we have already too many advertisements, even though this is kind of an advertisement, just go with me here. Don't want to really inundate you with advertisements that are already being thrown at you daily on a 24-hour basis. Because fuck it, like I don't want a company to tell me what I can or can't say. We need to be transparent about that. We need to also be transparent of what's going on in either sports world or the music industry or the arts world or anything that's going on in our community. We need to be able to voice that untethered.
Mm-hmm.
And I always want to keep that true to form through all of Fuzz Talk Radio. And the only way I can really think that I can do that, to be able to keep that, is not having to get a paycheck from a company that doesn't share the same values as us.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to always try my hardest to keep this going as long as I can financially. It's not that expensive and it's not that hard for me to do it now. But it's always nice to see support through merchandise purchasing or whatever. I don't know where I'm really going with this. I just want to say that I really appreciate everybody that has bought Fuzz Talk Radio or FuzzJock Radio merchandise, because it does help and it allows me to make a better product for you guys to listen to for free. and free of advertisements and free of sponsorships. So yeah, if you want to support, just go to FuzzTalkShop.com. That's FuzzTalkShop.com. I didn't know how to spell that, but I think I spelled that right. FuzzTalkShop.com. Buy whatever merchandise we have: hoodies and T-shirts and leggings and soon-to-be bath towels. During our break, I'm going to put up a bunch of more types of merchandise, and that money goes directly to me to be able to put back into FuzzJockRadio and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's the best way to support. Also by just tuning in and downloading all the podcasts and sharing stuff with everybody else and telling everybody else to tune in. Definitely helps a lot as well. Yeah. You know, it doesn't help a league to start back up, but they want to really start back up. The NHL announced that 26 players have tested positive for COVID-19 since the Phase 2 process began on June 8th.
Like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, less than a month.
Yeah, not bad. That's almost one a day. So, I mean, they're trying. I mean, other sports are putting up way bigger numbers, buddy. So, NHL.
So, yeah, dude, 15 players involved in the Phase 2, which is skating in small groups at team facilities, tested positive for COVID-19. The NHL notes that at least 250 players reported to team facilities during Phase 2. During that process, the league administered at least 1,450 COVID-19 tests on those players. There are also players who haven't reported to team facilities. The NHL revealed that it is aware of 11 additional players who tested positive since June 8th, the beginning of Phase 2. And then just kind of note that the players outside of Phase 2 aren't subject to the same level of oversight as those voluntary reporting to the teams. So it could be worse. There's a possibility that it could be even worse.
That's crazy.
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not great.
No, it's not,
I mean,
because they're planning on reopening up their season in late July already. Either they're poised to select either Las Vegas or Toronto still, as it's two central hub cities. But yeah, July. It's the epic, awesome, ultimate sports month is July.
It's gonna be July.
And I say ultimate because it could be the end of sports as we know it, all at once, in 1 month.
Yep.
In 1 month, I don't know. They're trying to just like kill every sports.
MLS is gonna come back.
They're all gonna come back and get the plague.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then it's going to hurt a sport if someone dies of this. It's going to really hurt any sport if a player actually passes away.
Absolutely.
That won't just that will damage the sport along with losing a human life.
I mean,
yeah.
The National Women's Soccer League already resumed play on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But they did. They kicked it off with a pretty powerful statement during the national anthem. Every player on the North Carolina Courage and the Portland Thorns took a knee on the field during the playing of the national anthem and wore Black Lives Matter shirts, marking a tremendous show of support for the movement. And then, on Monday, the NWSL revised its policy surrounding the national anthem. The anthem will still be played before games as normal, but players will not be required to be out on the field. If they choose, the league said they can remain in the locker room instead. So I don't get that a whole lot. Like if that was their response to that, and
that was another form of protest people were doing for a while, and it was instantly banned by certain sports. They were like, "No, you have to be out on the field."
Okay.
And so this is them walking that back
Okay.
years later.
Okay.
That's why they're doing that.
So go down to the players. I mean, this is just really interesting time that we live through, guys.
It is. It's
Unprecedented.
Yep.
I saw a tweet that kind of encapsulated it. You know, like they said that you know, I've mentioned before, you know, that I would like to have kind of seen what it was like to live during the 1912 pandemic. Or it would be nice to see what it was like to live during the Great Depression, or, you know, during the 70s, during social reform, and listed off a couple different ones. And then at the end, he's like, but I never asked to live all these at once. But then again,
Here we are.
But then again, you know, beggars can't be choosers, you know.
I saw that. Yeah.
It's
Unprecedented time. Well, you know, when you put it that way, it's not all that unprecedented. We've had a lot of precedents.
Mm-hmm.
Presidents
never all
being
at
presidents. We should get unprecedented
Yes.
hopefully,
instead of unprecedented. Whoa.
Hopefully, they keep it. I don't know. Like, it's just weird because it's not like they're keeping it. They all these teams keep talking about how they're going to keep everything. You know, everything's going to be fine. That's
gonna be
basically
fine.
what they're putting out
We're
there. You know.
We'll just
They say that.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And
We'll keep
then-
everyone safe. We'll keep everyone clean.
I mean, but
Yeah.
the MLS just confirmed 26 more corona cases ahead of its. Remember the great name MLS is back tournament.
What a great, just wonderful name. Wonderful name.
When is that supposed to start back up? Like this week? Like soon,
I think
right?
it's the 8th or the 11th. I think it's the 8th. It's just,
and
here we go again.
Here we go
26
again.
26 more cases
We're
before
totally-
they open up.
Yeah, they find more cases. Like you're just saying, you know, every sport, we're going to do this. We're going to be so safe. We're going to have our bubbles perfect. And then before they can even get anything going, so many cases. Well, you
Whoops.
can't even get people in the door. And then, or like hockey, you're in the second phase of it, and people are still getting it, and they're in the door. And then you've got MLS, who's literally, you know, a week away from starting, and they've got cases, and those people are in the door. Like,
What are you
how
gonna
are
do?
they going to handle this?
I mean, I feel like the last 3 months have just been a lot of like telling people like, don't do this, you're gonna get it, and they're like, nah, we ain't gonna get it, and then they get it, and then they get it, and it's like, nah, we're gonna open up, and then they get it, and it's like, all right, you know.
Yeah, and it's just getting closer and closer to everyone. I mean, we're all examples of it.
We're all living in clusters right now.
Yeah, we're all living in clusters. But on top of MLS coming back, there is some news about that NASCAR news, the update there, which we all find a little fishy. But is that they say that the noose has been there, known to have been hanging in the garage, in garage number 4 since 2019. So no one could have known Mr. Wallace was going to be assigned to that garage beforehand. But that is...
Why was there a noose in the first place?
What?
Yeah, like what's the noose there for in the first place then? And what?
What? What? Wait, what?
This is all weird. This I don't like this.
Nah,
Find out more info.
Here's my official statement. The fuck?
Yeah. The fuck.
And you know, man, if it walks like a the fuck, talks like the fuck's a duck.
Yep. Just I don't know. It's how does it get there in the first place? And if they know it's been there, then find out who put it there.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can't do that, then you really need to start investigating because that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Man, it's some dumb people saying some dumb things. They're just like, how do you even come up with this? Like, Yeah. Oh yeah, it was totally there before.
Yeah.
It was like that before I got there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's been racism since before recently. Yeah,
Oh,
there has
yeah.
been. That's what we're trying to find out. I mean, that's not what I meant.
No.
That's not what I meant.
I
'Cause
mean, I'm not responsible. Haha.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of grown,
Fight Island is real. Fight Island is real. Fight Island is real. Fight Island is real. Fight Island is a real thing. It's really happening. Ready to go. Fight Island is real. I'm ready to go. Fight Island is real. Fight Island is real. Infrastructure really happening right now. Fight Island is a real thing. I'm ready to go.
So he is ready to go.
he's ready to go.
We're going with him.
Just to remind everybody, Fight Island is a real thing, and
He's ready to go.
He's ready to go. The UFC is going to set up in Abu Dhabi.
Whoa. That's where Garfield always mails Nermal to.
Yeah. How many normals do you think are there?
Oh, Fight Island's just overrun by Nermals.
Maybe it's just cats fighting.
They're going to get there, and it's just going to be
cute.
the cutest kittens ever.
Yeah.
That's all Abu Dhabi is now. It's just overrun by cute kittens.
So
I have no idea.
Fight Island's debut will occur on UFC 251, which is slated to take place on July 11th. There is no word on how UFC intends to incorporate the term UFSEA, UFC, into its advertising, but there's still plenty of time for that to happen. For context, back in late May, the LLC that owns UFC's trademark filed one for UFSEA, an idea that originally came from John Oliver making fun of the name Fight Island.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
UFC, that's so funny.
But yeah, he white posted pictures of an octagon on a beach on his Instagram. It's not.
Is there a shark?
Not impressive at all.
No.
The picture isn't. No. But yeah, it's they're starting to travel there, and we
Filter Island.
need you to submit your submission to FuzzJockRadio.com, FuzzJockRadio@gmail.com. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll explain right now. Ready?
Yes.
Fight Island is real.
Fight Island is real, and we are ready to go with our FuzzJock Radio Fight Island correspondent. That is right. You the FuzzJocker that is currently listening, if you ever thought that, man, I would like to be a guest on FuzzJock Radio, or I would like to be able to be part of FuzzJock Radio in some way, or, whatever. I don't know if you actually sit there and think that. It would be really flattering.
You just want a trip to Abu Dhabi.
Maybe
Yeah.
you want to just trip to Abu Dhabi. It'd be really flattering if you wanted to be part of our broadcast. But yeah, if you do, a really good way to join the team would be to send us an email to FuzzJockRadio@gmail.com with your sample of your voice being a correspondent of ours. Send us a little resume. And what's the last one, James?
3 cool drawings.
He asked me.
Thanks, C-Dubs.
No, I'm so sorry.
Excuse me.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks, C-Dubs.
Yeah.
Here, let me just rewind quick.
There's James, what was the third thing that people need to submit?
Some cool drawings.
3 of them, right?
Well, 3 of them would be cool.
Yeah,
3's a cool number.
3 cool drawings.
3 cool drawings.
A voice of you giving a shout out to FuzzJock Radio or Fuzz Talk Radio you being like a correspondent of FuzzJock Radios, like you're doing an interview or something like that of a UFC wrestler, perhaps. And send that to FuzzJockRadio@gmail.com, and we are gonna have winners and contestants, and it's gonna be a fun time.
And prizes.
Yeah, prizes.
So many prizes.
Oh yeah, and then if we pick you, you might end up being the correspondent that we send to Abu Dhabi, to be our FuzzJock Radio correspondent, and let us know how Fight Island is going.
That sounds amazing.
It'll begin July 11th. We need
Who doesn't want to do
submissions.
that?
Submissions
hurry up.
before July 11th. So we're gonna make the deadline right now. Make sure to send submissions. Just keep on sending submissions. You know,
Yeah, we got some, but we need more.
we got a lot of time to fill, and we need people to fill that time with their voice. So, and that's the best way. Email us if you want to be part of FuzzJock Radio or Fuzz Talk Radio or anything like that. Send us an email. That's the great way to contact us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah, an email. We totally check those.
yeah, so
Thank
yeah,
you, James, for taking care of all that for us.
Oh yeah.
They
totally
revealed
check
the
those.
lineup for Fight Island. Whoa! That's loud.
Oh, ow, my arm.
What happened?
Is there
Looking for the lineup.
looking for the lineup?
Dude, I don't even care about the lineup.
Nah.
A
we need the
really
lineup.
exciting.
Nope, that's not it. That was some lady saying she's really excited, and that was kind of scary.
She's excited for Fight Island. You know what I'm excited for?
What are you excited
I do.
Yesterday.
for? Yesterday?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm excited for yesterday.
Hold on.
Wait.
I got it.
Mhm. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, the main card, the early prelims, what? See the full UFC 251 fight card below. We got
Who? What happened?
It's behind a paywall.
To the bathroom?
no. There's just a lot of main cards and a lot of early prelims. Like, I suppose these are just a bunch of different matches they got going on. At 6 p.m. early prelims start on ESPN, mind you.
July 11th.
A bunch of different names that I don't know how to pronounce, and I'm not going to. Yeah,
Butcher them.
I'm not going to butcher them. Just go to like MMAfighting.com or UFC. Like, we're not sponsored. I'm sorry,
You guys know how to Google. Just get with it.
I'm sorry,
Come
I
on.
don't know how to pronounce most of these names, so I'm not gonna say them.
Yeah, you go pronounce the name. See how you like it.
I can't. Yeah, you go. But like,
Don't tell me what to pronounce.
it should be fun. This should be fun to watch, right?
I'm actually interested, and I don't watch a lot of UFC, but
Me
I am
neither.
interested in what they're going to do.
It's gonna be Fight Island. It's real. Totally real.
I bet there's a shark.
UFC 251 on July 11th, featuring 3 world title fights.
Wow.
4 days later, the UFC is back with an event on July 15th, headlined by a featherweight bout. And yeah. So once again, July is sports extravaganza month.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get back to something because C-Dub said he was excited for yesterday. So like,
yeah.
excitement's usually like a feeling of anticipation. So like, are you planning some time travel?
We can all plan some time travel thanks to the beauty of home video and WWE Network and YouTube and ways to watch wrestling.
No
We can go to the
way.
past.
Dude.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can go back to 22 years ago yesterday was Mankind versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell at King of the Ring.
Undertaker fighting back. He's fighting. Look out! Oh, they killed him!
One of the greatest matches of all time.
Did they kill him?
He was broken in half, as Jim Ross or JR says later.
Listen to that. Listen to that.
Wow. Man, that sounds so distinctive and descriptive. You can, I mean, everyone listening right now knows that sound.
Mm-hmm.
And knows what that sound looks like.
Yep.
Man,
They know.
But I mean, for just to make sure you know, why don't you tell us?
Sure. So, Undertaker versus Mankind Hell in the Cell was booked to be one of the bigger matches of the year. It was actually the penultimate match that night. The headliner, I believe, was First Blood match versus Kane and Stone Cold for the WWF Championship. But so this is the penultimate match, and in the early minutes of the match, Mankind told Undertaker to throw him off the Hell in a Cell onto the Spanish announce booth, which he did, and that is the sound that we were hearing just then.
Him falling off the top of the cage.
The Hell in a Cell off the roof of it being literally tossed. He didn't fall gently. He was thrown and landed violently.
Well, you say thrown. I'd like to make the distinction that it wasn't like he picked him up. He wasn't
no.
picked up and thrown.
Not like that.
Either way, they
tossed like a sack of potatoes.
Either way, yeah. But either way, yeah. I'm sorry, I'm got it stuck on the loop there. Either way, they are so high up in the air. No matter how high he is, it's still gonna the gravity, the force, with fuzzy math and shit, man. Like the force of the gravity alone is scary.
Yeah. And I believe he tore his shoulder or knocked it out or something like that, or separated it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And so his arm was really bad. They tried actually taking him off to end the match and just take him off to get medical help. And he pushed off the stretcher himself and went back to the match, which then continued on the top of the Hell in a Cell again,
mm-hmm.
where then Undertaker choke slams Mankind through the top of the cage onto the wrestling mat, which was not supposed to happen, and knocking the wind out of him and tearing a hole in his ripping a hole in his lip, where a tooth flew out and landed inside of his nose.
Oh, that's crazy.
And then they still continued the match, and he got up and fought.
That was technically the beginning of the match.
Yeah,
when they are finally in the cage, which was after like all of these injuries.
Yes.
But man, dude, Mick Foley, dude's a fucking legend.
Yeah, he is.
And we could easily probably dedicate an episode to Mick Foley.
Oh, absolutely.
However, I just want to say I absolutely agree with you, but he's not. He's already retired. The Undertaker, out of those two Mathemus, the Mathemus, is that a word?
The Mathemus,
the Mathemus of the WWE world. The Undertaker, is behemoth, beneath him. You know what I'm trying to say. The Undertaker is
Benicio del Toro,
a pillar of wonderment of the WWE franchise, and he's the one that retired just recently.
Yep, he just retired. His last match would have been WrestleMania 36, the Boneyard match against AJ Styles. And he just officially announced it after they had a documentary where the final episode was him announcing that he was retired.
Oh, that's how they did that?
So,
they were actually filming a documentary?
They had been filming it for years. Apparently, they had been doing interviews and stuff, getting ready for this, and he just kept having another match and all that.
Okay, so James, yeah, you're right.
They were really filming a documentary?
No. You can't really trust a documentary because it wasn't really a documentary. It was a way for Undertaker to announce his retirement.
Yeah, there's always something to it.
It wasn't really a documentary.
So once again,
just an announcement.
You're absolutely right.
It's a really long, prolonged retirement announcement.
Yeah.
Setup.
That's all it was. or that's what it was. Not all it was.
But congratulations to him. I mean, what
Yeah,
did he
shit.
wrestle? 32 years?
87 to 2020.
Yeah, dude, he was like 43 22 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So
That's something I was talking about with someone recently. It is
Yeah,
funny
he
that everyone
went to
thinks
school with Vince
Undertaker-
Carter.
Yeah, Undertaker is so old, but he came on as an older character, so people think he's even older than he is. People think he's like in his 70s.
which is a great for his gimmick too, because
Yeah, perfect.
it really that just as an Undertaker, you'd want him to be an old person.
Yeah, look half dead almost.
And during that documentary, I didn't realize that he lived that life too. Like he lived as the Undertaker. He didn't really break mold too much outside the, like a lot of people are outside the ring, they end up being their normal self or normal person, but like he's always on game.
Yeah.
That's
the
who
American
he
Badass
is.
character was similar to just who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that's really neat.
That's when he
incorporate.
kind of, because I remember when he was introduced into the WWF at the time, he was supposed to be like literally like a zombie.
Yes.
Like they're
and
trying to
he-
make it like he was actually a dead body being reanimated by this weird guy.
Yes, and he garnered power. His famous stance where he has his hands in the air, where he's on his one knee, that's actually originally from him garnering power from the urn that Paul Bearer would carry.
Yeah,
So, like,
and he would
in the
always hold
old
it up.
ones, he's literally holding it towards the ring, and Undertaker will stop fighting, he'll get down on his knee, and he'll get some power from it, and then he'll get up and fight and be even stronger than he was before. Yeah,
That's fun.
that's the old bit. Yep, that's what it was.
Wrestling.
But then at a time when people like Kane are kind of like, oh, I'm not going to fight with a mask now. I'm not this comic book character. Undertaker kind of changed into like
American
a biker.
Badass.
He was a biker.
Yeah.
He was just a big tough biker old guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the old persona.
I'm not somebody that I watch. I know everything that you guys are talking about. But I'm not fully a fan where I'll go ahead and watch and stuff. But like WWE wrestling definitely has a spot in the sports world, where a lot of people don't realize that that's the case. And it's really nice, while everybody else is shut down, that they've been able to have things going in Florida and keep the entertainment going for everybody, because they've been ultra safe in making sure that they're keeping everybody contained, and and that everything is healthy, and that they've been doing all this all the taping still, and everything's been cool, and
Fuzzy, I'm gonna have to cut you
making
off.
sure that everybody can just follow their lead, right, when they open.
Yeah.
Because WWE is going strong, right?
They are
in
but
Florida, where
in
nothing
Florida,
happens in Florida.
where the high, it's a cluster, as we keep saying, in
Clusters,
Florida. There have been more people who've been getting getting testing positive for coronavirus, and so, which is unfortunate to find out. Some of their testing that they were doing to people coming in the building was just the forehead test. If you were coming in the performance center and you were not a performer, all they did was test your temperature.
Okay.
So you were in a building without a mask on, or
I was gonna
maybe
just
with
ask,
a mask on,
yeah.
in the crowd, breathing,
Well, I know
while
I've seen
people are
some of those
breathing heavily.
tapings and noticing some people not having masks. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, and they started letting in family and other people into the tapings to try and make the crowds bigger, and immediately the cases came up because they were letting in people who weren't being tested properly.
So
And now, sadly, they were able to talk about it before. Now the WWE is forbidding them from talking about their cases, if they're positive or not. So people who've said it before are not in trouble because they did this before. They've made this a
wait. They're
policy.
putting a gag order on people for saying that they.
Yes. They are only supposed to tell their friends and people who need to know. They're not supposed to tell their social media.
So I'm reading this anonymous statement sent to this Wrestling Inc.
Mm-hmm.
We are forbidden to tell anyone else, nor can we come out publicly to make any statements. It was stressed that the WWE will take care of any medical treatments should we need them. In the same breath, it was made clear that the company would handle the PR, and only those that needed to know about our condition would know, as HIPAA laws would prevent them from making our names public. Which is absolutely right.
Yeah.
They can't say anything about who of their staff is sick or anything like that. Companies can't say who their employees are for the employee safety.
Mm-hmm.
But the individual can put out a statement saying that they have COVID for any other situation, right? Like
if they wanted to, normally.
If you're working at let's say a restaurant, and let's just be fully transparent. We're in Mankato where we had a record case, or we had a big 100 people case because they went down to a bar downtown. And one of the employees, one of the employees got sick. Was one of those 100, and he put out a public statement saying that he got sick. So, in his mind, letting everybody else, there's an easy way to let everybody else know that was in contact with him that they probably should get tested as well. But that is his choice to do so. The company definitely can't do that. But they're saying that the WWE is saying that they're taking away that right of choice for their employee because they're going to pay for all their medical treatments.
Well, because they just don't want the publicity nightmare that's happening.
Don't. And I mean, I've heard of companies around this area and other places that have had sick employees, and they tell the public that they're closing due to deep cleaning.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, man,
isn't that the same thing?
Everyone's going to know that means what that means.
Yeah.
Right now, in this day and age.
I know that it's
but at the same time, that absolutely opens up the WWE to write the narrative of what's going on with their COVID story.
Mm-hmm.
They can get a bunch of employees. A bunch of employees can get sick, but they won't say anything and just keep on going. If they're evil like that, I suppose, right?
Sounds like what they're doing.
They want to control the narrative.
Yep. They want to be in charge of what comes out and how many people it is and who they are and to what level it's infected them. They want to be in charge of that, not the truth tell itself.
It's pretty scary.
Yep.
It's.
I guess they're doing the bare minimum to say that there are positive cases.
Yeah, they're doing what they have to by at least saying that there are cases, but they're taking away the right of the people to say that they have cases themselves if they want to. Like,
it would make me,
for example, go ahead.
It would just make me feel more comfortable knowing that they're more transparent about what's happening with their organization while they're providing entertainment for me. I want to make sure that they are doing right about to their employees and stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, sure, I'm just a consumer of their product, but at the same time, I feel that consumers of certain products should make sure that the products that they consume uphold to the same standards that you have yourself.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, sometimes it's really hard to do that, but when you have the option to, like, turning off the channel, I should know.
Yeah.
I should know as a consumer how they're treating their employees during this crisis.
And that's the complete opposite of what AEW is doing. They're being very transparent, and they're letting people know everything.
That's good.
But the problem is they're not the ones who are making mistakes. It's WWE, and now it's going to infect AEW because of a marriage between two people in the different companies.
Oh, is it crossing over?
Oh.
Is it crossing over?
We don't know yet. We're going to find out in 2 weeks. But
what happened?
Yeah. So Jon Moxley, AEW champion, is married to Renee Young, who is a voice for the WWE, and she has coronavirus. She's tested
boy.
positive and went public about it. So everyone knows, and AEW released a statement saying that John was going to miss his taping he was supposed to do for Dynamite last week, and he was going to go into quarantine for 2 weeks leading up to Fyter Fest, and if he passes his test after the 2 weeks, he can come back and fight his championship battle. But if not, they're going to have to strip him of his title. It's going to mess up the whole storyline, and it's going to change all the rate. Like, everything's going to be messed up if something that AEW didn't do wrong affects them.
And that's the thing, you know, like, that's the thing. You need to be okay to ask somebody how to put a mask on. If you're scared, if you feel bad about not knowing how to put a mask on, please just ask. Because like I was just gonna say, in real life, this is real life. These people are getting sick, and they're infecting other businesses, other total opposite entities of through not being careful.
And they're not even making Vince McMahon their first target.
Like I'm just thinking about, like, you know, if it just sucks. The chain, the link of chain that ends up happening, where more and more people are infected, and the more and more businesses are affected because one cluster wasn't smart enough or didn't take precautions. It affects everybody.
Yep.
And it bothers me. It really bothers me. And the AEW has announced their Firefest event, which is taking place over the July 1st and July 8th episodes of AEW Dynamite at Daly's Palace in Jacksonville, Florida, once again.
Yep. Now, the difference, though, at least for them, is they have an outdoor facility.
At least it's on TNT.
Yeah, and it's free on TNT.
Mm-hmm. Well, this is not pay-per-view.
Oh, this
not
is free.
Pay-per-view, but it's pay-per-view quality. It's pay-per-view quality, but it's not.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, let's go over the card for that. So it's a 2-night event. Night 1, they're gonna have the AEW TNT Championship on the line versus Cody Rhodes versus Jake Hager. And then they're gonna have the Tag Team Championships on the line. Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page versus Best Friends, which I'm very excited for. I'm a big Best Friends fan. I love Orange Cassidy as well, so I really hope they can win that championship. They're also going to have AEW Women's World Championship, Hikaru Shida versus Penelope Ford. That should be a good match. Shida's really technical and wild. She's a really fun person to watch. Jurassic Express versus MJF and Wardlow. That's basically 2 huge guys and 2 tiny guys versus each other. That should be a good one. Yeah. And then Private Party. Yeah. Private Party, Santana and Ortiz. That should be a good one. Matt Hardy has recently become the manager for Private Party, so they should be flying around like crazy. That should be a good one. That's night 1. So that's 3 championships in one night. It's pretty good.
That's awesome. That's going to be a really fun time.
And then, and then there's one other night, night 2, is the next week. And that's when maybe the AEW Championship will happen with Brian Cage versus Jon Moxley, which, if you remember Brian Cage's entrance into AEW, he tore a ladder in half when he walked onto the stage for the first time ever. There'll also be Chris Jericho versus Orange Cassidy, which has been a rivalry brewing the last few weeks, which is phenomenal. A lot of fun to watch, so I can't wait for that match.
FuzzJockRadio and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, FTR. Yeah, versus the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros versus
the Butcher and the Blade.
Something familiar about
Butcher
that Cash Wheeler's name.
Cash Wheeler.
Cash Wheeler of FuzzTalk Radio.
FTR is great. Fuck the Rest is awesome. I like them a lot. There's also Brody Lee and Stu Garrison and Colt Cabana versus SCU, three-way tag team. Lance Archer versus Joey Janela, and Nyla Rose with the to be determined still. So
nice.
Lots to look forward to.
Dude,
if it happens.
TBD's a tight fighter too. Like, check that one out.
So
yeah, you gotta watch
technical.
the videos.
What happens is
TBD.
if Moxie tests positive, then does all these people have to test as well, or has it been away from everybody long enough?
He's been away from everyone long enough that That's why they made him quarantine right away, because they wouldn't let him come back. He was
Okay.
supposed to, and he was honest with them about his contact with his wife. They actually immediately were like, we can commend John Moxley for coming to us honestly with this immediately,
Mhm.
as opposed to trying to kick it down the road
Yeah.
and just come in and work.
Yeah.
So they were really happy that he did that and was straightforward about it. But yeah, if he can't do it, they're going to strip him of his title, I guarantee it, and someone else will fight Brian Cage for the title, and that just isn't going to be the same. All that storyline will be just washed away.
Well, we're at that time. It's fuzzy memory trivia time. You know what that means? Not we. I'm the host of Fuzzy Memory Trivia.
Yeah, me too.
No, you're not. I am.
Yeah, okay.
You're a host of FuzzJockRadio, but Fuzzy Memory
Yeah.
Trivia is me as the host, dude.
Yeah.
You know.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, you knew that.
I knew that.
The score is, I believe, that score is
17.
4-3. 4-3. C-dubs. How long is an Olympic swimming pool?
120 yards.
Incorrect. Jamez.
300 feet.
Incorrect. 50 meters. Jamez, how many boxing matches did Muhammad Ali lose in his career?
0.
Incorrect. C-dubs.
2.
1. C-dubs, which is the national sport of Japan?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Sumo wrestling.
Correct. 1 point. 4-4.
Yes.
Jamez, what is the time duration of a rugby match?
Of the entire match?
What is the time duration of a rugby match?
2 halves.
Incorrect.
60 minutes.
80 minutes.
Ooh,
C-dubs, the first
tricky.
Olympic Games held in which year country?
We've gotten this, and I don't remember it. Brunzia in 1921.
Incorrect. Jamez.
Greece.
Correct.
I thought you said year also.
I did, but it just says
Oh.
Greece, so we'll just go
Oh.
with it. Where were the
That's
okay?
Greece,
both
baby.
of you. Where were the Olympic Games held in 1996?
Bing, bing.
Yes.
1996, that was in San Francisco.
Incorrect. C-dubs.
Atlanta.
You're absolutely right. That was a famous Olympics. Something happened.
That was
Yes,
so
that's when the Atlanta bombing was.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's it. That's the FuzzJock.
I won.
That's the Fuzz Talk Memories trivia. Actually,
Next time, C-dubs. Next time.
yeah, C-dubs won season 2 of Fuzzy Memory Trivia. Sorry, Jamez. And that's it.
We did it.
We did it,
It's all right. Man.
guys.
It's here.
I've never sweated so much during an episode.
We're at the end of the season. We just did a 2-hour episode, guys.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you did a 2-hour episode?
Not really.
Me either.
No. Don't worry, listeners. We're not going to keep doing 2-hour episodes when we come back. We'll go back to the normal format of 1-hour episodes. Don't worry. Once again, we are coming back at the end of August, beginning of September. Make sure to follow our Facebooks and our Twitter feeds, and we'll let you know exactly what date that's going to happen. Once again,
Make some YouTube videos about us too.
Yeah.
While you're at it, just do it.
That'd be
just
dope.
like go make some FuzzJock content on the internet. You could do that, right?
That'd be
like
dope.
FuzzJockers. Yeah, just go do it. It's fine.
That'd be really dope. Send us
I'd
a
like
email to FuzzJockRadio@gmail.com. That's the best way to contact us if you want to be part of the correspondent contest or not, or if you just want to say hello, or if you want to be interviewed, or whatever, FuzzJockRadio at gmail.com. I'm going to go back into my bunker. So, I need the email company during our off season. So yeah, J-Mez, what you got any big plans for the off season at all?
Well, maybe be watching some Bomba Squad. That'd be really great. But even if not, I'll be playing some Bomba Squad on MLB The Show 20. Love that Bomba Squad, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that Bomba Squad.
And then just
and a lot of Smash Bros. They just released a new DLC fighter, so.
Oh, cool.
Getting in it.
C-Dubs, what do you got? Any big plans for the near future?
Yeah, off season's coming up, so you know what that means. I have to reevaluate my contract. I have to decide if I want to be a free agent or sign with Fuzz Talk Radio again.
Yeah.
I got to look at my other deals, though. I might hit. I just got to worry about that. I got some off season workouts with some other radio people. Matt Money Smith and I work out 6 feet apart from each other, just down by the stop sign. So.
Oh yeah, sure.
We do our our little off-season workouts. So yeah, that's what I got planned.
Cool.
Fuzzy, how about you?
As you know, as I just already mentioned, that I'm gonna go right back down in the bunker to make sure that I stay away from the COVID. If I do come out of the bunker, I am 100% putting on a mask right away, because I do not want to be part of the transmission of this deadly virus.
It's easy too. It's actually not that hard.
You don't have to be scared. Don't be scared anymore.
It's fine, everyone.
I mean, C-Dubs is showing you right now, if you saw it on the video, how to put one on.
Yeah.
Joking aside, I do urge everybody to wear masks and practice social distancing, or whatever you want to call it. Wash your hands, and just be safe and be courteous to everybody else, because we want to stop this, so we don't have to be on air and not have any sports to talk about, because obviously from this past season you could tell that we were really hindered by the no sports.
So much so.
But yeah, I'll just be hanging out in the bunker, so send me an email. One last thing. Once again, I do want to say we really appreciate you FuzzJockers, everybody that's tuned in, everybody that's shared any information about our show. Anybody that's enjoyed or not enjoyed our presence on the internet, we 100% really, really appreciate you. We look forward to coming back in season 3. In the meantime, make sure to enjoy all the sports that are happening in July, and we'll be back to tell you how it all ended up closing down.
Good luck.
Baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
Oh my God! Stay alive! Oh my God! Murray, no way! Touchdown! Are you kidding me? It's a Minneapolis miracle!
3 seconds. 1 second. The drought is finally over. 13 years of disappointment and frustration has come to an end.
Walks the line, gives it back to Koivu. Niederreiter, a deflection, Spurgeon backs it out of the air and scores! What a play by Spurgeon!
3 seconds. No seconds. That's it. Final number 4 for the Minnesota Lynx dynasty. Comes with the taste of sweet redemption. Slowing it through now. It's Darwin Quintero around the goalkeeper, and Quintero scores. He's back. Goal number 15 of the campaign in all competitions. And Darwin Quintero returns and paves the pathway for Minnesota United here.
The best to you from
Fuzz Talk.
radio. KMRT.
FuzzJockRadio.
And we're back with season 3. We told you that. Oh, wait a minute. No.
What happened?
What happened? No. We'll be back, guys. We promise. Love you.